Jack, I understand there's a very unique presentation at Wednesday's Catholic Board meeting. It's surrounding a DVD called The Francis Effect. Maybe first of all, tell us about the DVD and what it's about.
Sure. Our Ontario Catholic Trustees Association had forwarded a copy of this DVD within the last month or so, and the recommendation was, first of all, it was worth watching. Secondly, for trustees to consider viewing it in a working session. You probably know that in our board meetings we've been bringing presentations of many aspects of the work that's being done in our board. Faith is our faith is our touchstone here in terms of our existence as a board, and this DVD I think will be a very concise message of the work of Pope Francis in his last couple of years since he's been elected as Pope.
Do you feel that there's a clear definition of the Francis effect? I guess maybe part of that is the fascination that people all over the world have had with this man since he became the Pope Francis the First. Is it the character that he brings? What do you feel is the definition of this effect that really he's had on a lot of people around the world?
I think his name was inspired by Saint Francis. He's a Jesuit. The Jesuits have a certain charism and a way of working their mission, around the world. But he picked Saint Francis as his role model. Saint Francis, one of the famous sayings from Saint Francis was, "Preach the gospel wherever you go. If necessary, use words." I think what Francis has done in his actions primarily, and his words, he's preached the gospel message, and it's one of peace, love, inclusion, all the things that are part of Saint Francis's charism that he brought to the world.
Well, maybe I missed this earlier, but it was the OECTA that brought.
OCSTA,
I apologize. Yes. They were the ones who suggested the DVD for the Board of Trustees. What do you hope to see the group get out of this video disc about Francis?
I think what I saw in the video, and I'm hoping that others, the trustees, the administrators, the whoever participates in the board meeting, will see the leadership lessons that Pope Francis is inspiring us with. Even this year, at the beginning of Advent, which is coming up shortly, it's the beginning of a year of mercy, and our board and our trustees association in Ontario have taken that theme. Our theme this year is Opening Doors of Mercy. His theme for the liturgical year starting in Advent is mercy, and when you watch the DVD, you will see that mercy underlies very much his work and his messaging and his teaching.
Now, Pope Francis hasn't just been brought up for the sake of being brought up at board meetings from time to time, but have you heard any examples from teachers, parents, even students about their being inspired by Pope Francis? Have you heard any stories about that?
Yeah, I've heard all kinds of stories. I think there's a sense of hope and optimism that he brings, to the world, to our faith communities, and he's inspirational. And young people, old people, certainly are gravitating to his message, and certainly we're part of a larger Catholic community. I think it's a symbol of our alignment, coherence, and
what's one story that stands out that you can think of someone using that inspiration into positive action for the community?
Well, I know that one of his actions very early in his papacy was at the Holy Thursday service in Rome, where he washed the feet of some prisoners. They were Muslims, some women. Some of these things were unheard of in terms of liturgy. I think he's sending out a symbolism here that we need to be reaching out in mercy and love and kindness, to those in need. And I know that in our board, we've got all kinds of examples of that. That's a key part of our multi-year strategic plan, particularly our Catholicity.
So I guess maybe I needed to clarify what would an example be at the local level of that inspiration in action?
I think the local charities that examples, Pennies from Heaven, and the Advent um, projects, Joyful Socks. So many things that are being done in our community are for the poor and disadvantaged, and I think that's a reflection on the model that he's setting.
I think some of those examples would be there was a group in here not very long ago hoping to help people in Africa, I think with
Right.
wells or shelter, that sort of.
Yeah, it was the Meet a We. I know that we had the We Day last year. We've had, yeah, actually, we had a group that were in Haiti. I've got a teacher that was down in Central America, and we're actually planning. We're meeting, I think, on November 23rd to see if we can get a group of interested adults and students to have a third world experience, to transform them in terms of their thinking and their obligation to help those in need.
Now, Jack, you've watched the DVD. How have you found it, and has it inspired you? You being a leader of the group of trustees, and as a group of that is inspired and bound by faith, how has the DVD inspired you personally?
Well, let me tell you, I've got a busy schedule, and the DVD was about an hour and 10 minutes long, and at times I struggle with distraction and competing demands. I watched the full DVD, after I started watching it. It's that inspiring and it's that capturing. So,
Is there any part of that DVD that stands out as?
no, it just I think it summarizes his papacy from the time of election, the actions that I spoke of, and some of the challenges that he's got. In terms of the Roman Curia, issues that are potentially divisive in the church. It's just a good. It's a good DVD that I think will help us be better leaders in our local communities.